What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 6, Episode 4. Before I go any further, make sure you head on over to Scotty by Nature's channel and check out the panel we do every Monday night, the Real Housewives of Potomac. Last night's episode was absolutely hilarious. Y'all need to go check it out. I'm a little late with my review, but we here, okay? So we start this episode off. We have Giselle and we have Robin getting ready to do their photo shoot for their podcast. You know, the podcast is already out. They've already started doing episodes. I think it's called Reasonably a Shady or something, because Robin is the reasonable one. Karen is the shady. I mean, Giselle is the shady one. Did I say Karen? Giselle is the shady one. Now, first of all, we started this whole situation off with a little bit of shade because Robin is what? Late. And Giselle was like, yeah, I don't know how long this is even going to last because I'm not doing this with Miss Robin and her Johnny come lately situation. So, Karen, I mean, gosh, I'm going to stop calling that woman Giselle. Okay, hold on. I'm going to stop calling her Giselle. Again, we have to sit through a conversation with Giselle and her stylist, hairdresser slash boyfriend. I mean, look, let me get myself together. Slash friend. He ain't her boyfriend, child. He ain't nobody's boyfriend. He's somebody's boyfriend. He ain't Giselle's boyfriend. Y'all, I'm tongue-tied. Let me get myself together. But again, we have to sit through this dry-ass conversation about her lying about why she not with Jamal. You ain't with Jamal because you was never with Jamal. And Jamal damn sure wasn't with you. Moving on. So then we get to talking about the conversation that they had last week and how they found out that he said that Mia made a comment about Giselle being the pretty one and all she is a pretty face. So they decide that they want to have lunch with Mia with just the two of them so they can talk to Miss Mia about what she has to say and so that Karen isn't around to be an influence. So they send Mia a text inviting her to lunch and they add on there just you or don't invite Karen or something like that. Something to the effect of that made it clear that they didn't want Karen to come, right? So we find out later what her response is. I'll get to that response later, child. So next we see Ashley and Michael. Listen, they go out for date night. Ashley she's ready to pop at any second, and they are having date night. And we find out that Michael wants to move into a new business venture. He wants to start producing movies. And Ashley is like, yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about you starting something that is such an arduous task with the fact that I'm literally about to have a second child and we're going to have two babies in the house. You know, like I'm not sure how I feel about that situation. But at the end of the day, I feel like he's a producer. Like he's the money man. I mean, he can choose to be hands-on, but he really doesn't have to be that hands-on. He can write the check and then wait to get his money back if the project is successful. But I understand the concern that Ashley has with, listen, you know, we got to keep our eye out on this situation. I knew that was going to be too small. Anyway, yeah. So that's that. Later on in the episode, Ashley goes into labor, child, and she's on her way to the hospital. She's in her water broke, and she still had time to make breakfast for Dean, honey, and lay out his clothes for school. I'm like, girl, he too. What you mean he laid out his clothes for school? He too. It don't even matter. He could not be matching, and don't nobody care. He too. Anyway, my nephew 4, at half the time he don't even come home in the same clothes he went in because baby, he potty trained, but sometimes he still be having accidents. So don't nobody care. He be mismatched all the time. Don't nobody care. But shouts out to Ashley for making sure she took care of the baby before she went on her way out. Karen is going to be an ambassador for her hometown. We saw last year she was in the parade, and she wants to try to. And it sounded she was talking to Raven, and it sounded like they had some good things they were planning as far as wiring the town for Wi-Fi, and just getting them some things down there that they don't have. And I thought that was absolutely. I thought that was great. I did. I think that was great. We see her talking to Raven. Raven is living in New York, working, honey. She got herself a good job. And she told Raven, you were in charge of making sure Daddy give me the right ring for this vow renewal, okay? He keep buying me wedding bands, and I want to rock. I want a big rock, okay? I want to rock and roll, rock, okay? We have a work scene with Miss Mia, I guess just to prove the point that she's a boss. Child, okay, great. But in her bossiness, we see yet again another conversation between her and her husband. I keep telling y'all, Mia ain't stupid. She's setting up her storyline for next season. Now, last night on the panel, people were saying that they're tired of the my marriage is in trouble storyline. I get it, but it's a storyline. We might be tired of it, but until people stop watching it, they're going to keep giving it to us. You know what I'm saying? But she's supposed to be taking her son to practice, and she's calling her husband to say, listen, I'm stuck in a meeting. Can you take him? And he was like, listen, let's be clear. I don't have no problem taking him, but he's disappointed that you're not taking him. And I think that you need to do a better job of making sure that you are not planning things that interfere with the stuff that you promised your children, because he looks forward to that time with you. He looks forward to, whatever it is that y'all are doing. And, he's disappointed. Now, part of me agrees, but part of me is like, bruh, when you was running the business, I'm sure you missed meetings. I'm sure you ain't pick your child up every day and drop them off every day. Like, I feel like part of that is a little bit of, but you the woman kind of thing. Because let's be clear, I know when he was running this multi-million-dollar business, he missed soccer practice. But anyway. Robin is having a workout with Asala. Is her name Asala? I feel like her name is Ascala. Her name is Ascala and Wendy. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know what is more annoying this year. I don't know if it was Wendy last year and her 4 degrees, or Wendy this year and her happy and Ness. Okay, after episode 4, am sick of Wendy and her new body. I almost wish we was talking about her 4 damn degrees. Because in every scene, Wendy has to remind us that she got a new booty and a new breast, or both, or at the same time. Anyway, there's a workout outside in the park. After the workout, Robin lets them know what happened with Mia. Well, baby, after they sent that text message to Miss Mia about, we want to meet with you alone, don't bring, Karen, Miss Mia responded and was like, if it ain't about business, me and you don't have nothing to discuss. So Robin responds and was like, well, that was a little bit rude. And Pat, like, you ain't have to come back like that. Like, you was a little rude about it. She says she going to add Karen. I keep wanting to say Karen. She going to add Giselle, because she was like, I was talking to Giselle. I really wasn't talking to Robin, and say, if you would like to, meet up with us. If you would like to meet up with me, I can give you the name to my assistant, and, she can schedule something for you and put something on my calendar. Now, I think Mia's response was way over the top. I get the whole, you can't tell me who I can and can't be friends with and who I can and can't bring to lunch. But let's be clear. 2 weeks ago, you was really giving the Green Iron Bandits, oh my gosh, let me get your phone number. You get my phone number. And I think you have such a good heart. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So don't act like it's so crazy and they're so out of left field to say, listen, let's meet up for lunch and let it just be the 2 of us, or let it just be the 3 of us. We really want to get to know you. But I feel like her response was a little bit extra. But anyway, so Candace calls them while they're out. The house, the townhouse, her mama townhouse done sold. So she's got to finish cleaning it out and get everything out of there. And so she says, listen, why not have one last hurrah down to the house where all the ladies can come and we can have like a good old fashioned sleepover down to the house, yada, yada, yada. So of course everybody's like, cool, that's great. That's great. We coming. Great. Karen has tea with Mia, and that's where Mia lets Karen know what was said about, what the text message exchange back and forth. And of course, Karen found it absolutely hilarious, which it was hilarious. I just thought it was a little bit extra. It was absolutely hilarious. But Karen was like, listen, I told you to get to know them for yourself. Like, you do what you do. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from for them to tell you that you know, who you can and can't have around, who you can and can't invite, you know, to lunch or whatever. But y'all know Karen was giggling. Okay? Giggling. Then we had this scene. I felt so sorry for Grace because she went to go take her learner's permit and she failed it again on camera in front of everybody. It was her third time and I felt so bad for her. Oh my gosh, I felt so bad for her. I really, really did. Listen, we all have been there, whether you pass your test or not. It is definitely an anxious moment when you go to take your learner's permit. You are so excited. You're so ready to drive. It is such a big rite of passage for a teenager, and for her to fail and then fail on camera, and then her sisters was in the back giggling, talking about some, it's okay, Grace. It's okay, Grace. And all of that's on camera. I feel so bad for that baby. Candace making an album. So we get to the pajama party down to the townhouse at the National Harbor, and Karen shows up first. And child, she go to get Karen to take a shot of Fireball. Why Karen act like she don't want to take that shot of Fireball? Y'all know shady ass Bravo went back to last year where Karen damn near drank a whole bottle of Fireball by her goddamn self. Karen, you better stop playing with us. Don't be playing in our faces. See, that's why. See, Karen, I love you, and that's why when I be trying to defend you, you make that shit so hard. Because you do shit like that. People be like, Karen knows she drink the Fireball, and then you sitting there acting like you ain't gonna drink the Fireball. Anyway, so next that shows up is Robin in her TJ Maxx romper pajama set and her Holly Hobby headband on. Robin, what you be doing? What you be doing? And they got to talking about, you know, she gonna ask Robin about the wedding. And of course, Robin was like, we're gonna get married when we get married, and we ain't trying to have a super spreader event, and, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, Karen and her passive aggressive self was like, well, I mean, you'll get married when you get married, you know. Giselle shows up in her, as Karen said, in her light, bright, fake Versace robe. Listen, they make that robe in all colors, Giselle, and you pick the tackiest one. They make it in black, they make it in white, they make it in gold, but you pick the multicolored one. Whether it's fake or not, you pick the multicolored one. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I think it's real, and I think Karen, I keep calling that woman Karen. I think Giselle might be making a little bit of coin for product placement, because y'all remember in the first episode when we got a tour of the house of the West Wing, and she had that Versace bedspread on her bed, and she had to specifically say, yeah, girl, you know, I got the Versace on the bedspread and I ain't had a chance to use it yet. And now this week she got the Versace robe. I honestly think that she getting a little bit of product placement. And I ain't mad at you, girl. I ain't mad at you, Giselle. Make that coin. Make that coin. Now, Candace forgot to invite Ashley. And she said, well, Ashley is probably in labor somewhere right now anyway. Ashley don't want to be here. You know, Ashley don't need to be here. Ashley was in labor, at least the way they spliced it in there. Ashley was in labor. But let's be clear. Candace, you wasn't a bit more interested in inviting that woman than the man in the moon. You ain't want to have Ashley up in your house. We all know what went down in your house the last time Ashley was up there. And I ain't mad at you. Listen, on that one, I'm with Candace. You ain't got to invite her. I don't know if I would have invited Ashley's ass either, if you want to know the truth of the matter, child. I ain't lying. I probably wouldn't have invited her either. So Mia shows up. Well, Wendy shows up with all her goods out, because of course we got to see them every episode. So then we have to have a conversation about Mia and the phone call and the text messages and all of that. And of course Karen is defending her friend. You know, like, listen, she didn't feel like she had to invite y'all, and if she didn't want to invite y'all, she ain't had to invite y'all. Now Mia showed up, and Mia did not have on no pajamas, but I feel like that's because Mia probably sleep nude. So she probably didn't have no pajamas to wear, because she probably don't own none. And if she do, it's probably like some sexy lingerie that is for her husband's eyes only and whoever they invite into the bedroom, because we find out later on that that's what they do too. And that's okay. Again, I don't judge nobody. That's y'all business. That's y'all bedroom. That I don't care. But you made it my business when you told us. So Giselle was making a good point in the point that she was saying, listen, I was inviting her out because I wanted to get to know her. And I didn't want, I just wanted it to be us getting to know her. But again, whenever it's you and Robin, it's always going to be a 2-on-1 situation. And again, I ain't mad at Mia for not going. I just feel like her response was very aggressive. But I ain't mad at her for deciding that she ain't going to go. So once Mia gets there, the gang's all here. And of course, we have to have a conversation about the text messages and all of that. And Mia starts talking about, well, I want to, nobody's going to dictate to me who I can and can't be friends with and who can and can't, who I can and can't, invite to lunch with me. And then she starts talking about a scholar wanted to put her 2 cents. A scholar, ma'am, you don't have nothing to do with this. You have no dog in this fight, but here you go, jumping on the bandwagon with them green-eyed bandits. And Mia was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, how many businesses do you own? Now, I don't think it mattered how many businesses you own. I felt like you was revving up to get a scholar together. But next time, Mia, just get her together. You don't need to preface it because nobody really cares how many businesses she owns. Nobody cares how many businesses you own if you want to know the truth of the matter. But but of course that just opened up for Robin to be like, who cares how many businesses she owns? Robin, be quiet. Be quiet. So Candace diffuses the situation like, listen, that ain't even what we here for. That ain't what this is all about. We here to have a good time. We here to party. Let's go in the other room and let's play Never Have I Ever. Never Have I Ever is a fun game. And it's always a game that's easy to be nosy because you can ask questions and find out what people, and get people to answer and find out all the people's business. So it's always a fun game from that perspective, okay? Now, in the game, what we found out is that Mia has had threesomes with her husband, her current husband. So that is something that either they have indulged in the past or that they do indulge in. Not my business. You do you, boo. But we also found out that Mia doesn't know the difference between getting her clit done and vaginal rejuvenation. Vaginal rejuvenation is something totally different. And again, anatomy 101. I'm just saying. And as a woman, I feel like you should know the difference. You should know the difference. Anyway, with that being said, what else came out I think that was the biggest thing that we found out, child. I think they asked, have you ever done ecstasy, child? She said she's done ecstasy. But again, at this point, nothing Mia says she's done is going to surprise me. Anyway, that was pretty much the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.